Okay, it's 7:02, and I'll call the meeting to order. Welcome to everyone, and we, as always, start off with a public comment section. As usual, I would like to invite anyone who has signed up to speak, and also to ask that you please limit your comments to about 5 minutes. So I guess we have some people signed up.
Marcia Krug.
I know that the comments I have to make have to be done in private, so if there's someone who would like to speak first, I can wait. Dwayne?
Well, good evening. I actually put my name down 3 times, because I have 3 different things I want to discuss with you, okay? First one, I don't know if you guys are aware of it or not, but our bowling team, we finished 4th in the league this year. And then they really came to life at sectionals and finished 2nd. So the boys bowling team finished 2nd in sectionals, which was, a great honor. Almost won it. We were within 80 pins. You break it down, it's like everybody, if they shot 4 pins better for the day on every game, we would have won. But the best, brightest light of that whole sectional experience was Kean DeMezza. Kean DeMezza qualified for the state meet, okay? And Saturday he went to Syracuse and performed on the Section 2 All-Star team in Syracuse. He bowled on the team. The team finished 7th in the state All-Star tournament. Kean, 5 of his 6 scores counted. And his last game, he shot a 258, which was enough to earn him second high game honors for the state tournament. We actually brought home a state medal. Okay, so that was great. We've always been pretty competitive with the bowling team. For quite a few years there, I think 15 years straight, we had league championships and a couple sectional titles in that time frame. Over the past few years, though, the interest in the sport has kind of diminished a little bit. To the point where this year, we just had enough, we didn't really have enough. My full team roster is usually 13 or 14 for the boys. That includes varsity and kegglers, or JV if you want to call them that. This year we were at 11. This year we're losing 6 seniors, and we're losing 1 individual who's a junior that's going to be over the age limit to participate in athletic sports next year. So that means next season we are bringing our sports team, in terms of returnees for bowling, down to 4 players on the boys team. As a coach, being on top of things, I foresee with this year, we weren't going to have any freshmen join, and just me needling them in my class. Hey, why don't you bowl? You're not doing anything. I did average to get 2 people signed up, and those 2 I think had a good enough time where I think they're coming back, so they're part of that 4 number. But we need 8 for a varsity boys team. We need at least 12 for a varsity and a kegglers team. And what I'm proposing for you guys tonight is I'm proposing that you would consider changing your stance on our sports offerings for next year, offering bowling as an 8th grade sport also. I think the numbers are low enough with the boys where it won't be an influx of middle school kids taking away spots for the high school players. And plus, it's something that is common in our league. Right? I just jotted down some notes before I got here about 10 after 6. Just about every team in our league that I know of for sure, BKW, Canajoharie, Middleburg, Duanesburg, Mayfield, Fort Plain, and OASJ all have middle school players on their team this year. I'm not sure about Bishop Gibbons and Fond Fultonville, but I think it's time maybe just not open it up to 7th and 8th grade, but let's start with 8th grade and see how it goes. And then maybe in the future, open it up as a 7th grade sport also. So I'm proposing this to you tonight, hoping that you as the board and the executive members here would consider that. Okay? So
We'll certainly look into that.
I've already spoke with our athletic director about it. I told him I was coming tonight. I was going to bring this proposal to the Board of Education, so at least you guys had a heads up when he approaches you, does his formal presentation. But I feel right now, there's a chance next year we may not have enough to field a team. And I don't know why, it's just not a lot of interest. I know years ago, the junior league had a lot of elementary school participants, had a lot of students playing up. You don't see that anymore, and I'm not sure why. I think it's needed. We should probably look to explore that option, so we can keep the team going, for the future years. Thank you. I signed my name up 3 times, because I didn't know if you could just 5 minutes on one topic or 5 minutes on 3. The second topic I got is, last year, when I first, I've been here, I'm one of the longest teachers here, 31 years. I've been coaching for, I think 25 or 26 now. But when I first started coaching, we used to take the coaching salary and divide it up, got it bi-weekly. That was great. Then our business office went elsewhere, and then for the first year or 2, they broke it down into a half-year paycheck and the season paycheck. That was all right. Then they went to the end of the season paycheck. Wasn't really happy about it, but at the end of the season, I got a separate check, and I was like, it's like how would I say that? Clark Griswold bonus check, Christmas bonus check. That's what it felt like. I was pretty happy to hear that through negotiations, negotiating our union, that we were going to switch to getting paid for the season by season, so midway point and at the end. Much to my demise, when it came time for the mid-season paycheck, the pay was put in my regular paycheck. I said, boy, that seems like an awful lot of money out of taxes. Well, I went home, got my paycheck out from last year for what I got burned for bowling. And I said, well, maybe there'll be something. I went to my union rep, I expressed this concern, and he said he would look into it. We do have coaches that aren't full-time employees, so I'm sure they get paid by a regular paycheck. I'm proposing that we go to that paycheck, regular paycheck, or separate paycheck for athletics for all of our coaches. The people that are your contracted coaches, that is also your teachers, we're getting hurt. When I say we're getting hurt, the difference in pay from last year's salary to this year's money in hand was $919 and change. I wouldn't care if it was $100 or $150. I don't do it for the money, but it is nice. And $919 and change is quite a loss of money to have out of hand. And the sole purpose of that is when they went through a 2-check paycheck this year, we didn't get separate checks. They put it in our regular paycheck for that period, and it hits pretty hard. So, if you don't want to go back, I know it's a negotiated item. It was in the contract last year. Maybe we should give the coaches a choice. So we get paid 1 check at the end of the season, separate check, or do you want 2 checks throughout the season? Personally, after this year, I go back to 1 check. All right? That's point number 2. So that one wasn't 5 minutes either. Point 3 is driver's ed. I just brought this piece in my one. If you remember in September, I came to you and I told you that Western Words obviously teach last year. Learned a lot, I said, and I did learn a lot. And I also told you I was learned that I was a rare breed, shortage of driver's ed teachers in New York State. I also said, if you recall at that meeting, I was your guy. If you wanted to teach driver's ed or offer driver's ed here in the summer, I'd be your guy. I'd stay here and I'd run the program. I still feel that way. I feel right now running it through the school year, we're getting through it. But it's kind of like if you ever watch extreme sports on ESPN and they have those rock climbing with those cars with those wheels and going over these rocks and in the valleys. It's kind of what driver's ed is right now. First of all, the schedule doesn't allow a lot of leeway as far as missing time, so we have to do a lot of makeups. I just was out today, it's 3 o'clock to 4:30 with makeup after school. But anyways, getting back to my initial point, is I asked for you to give me an indication sometime in February, because with the idea that I'm sure I would be having some inquiries of other districts, and I would have to make a decision. So, we met with Mrs. Grimshaw in January, we talked about it. We met again in February, we talked about it. She said you're gonna talk about it in February meeting, so I thought I'd just come and, be here in case you had any questions, but it wasn't brought up, but, I don't know, maybe you covered it in an executive session, I don't know, I don't know those. But anyways, from what I was here in February, you didn't talk about it at the regular meeting. So I waited. February 28th, I get a phone call. What's your availability for this year? So I said, well, March 1st, I'll have to go and see Mrs. Grimshaw. I went to see Mrs. Grimshaw, she wasn't there. Talking to Mrs. Music. She said she's not gonna be in today. Okay. Went back, next week, stopped it again. She's not available today yet, but she knows that you want her to talk to you. She did send me an email saying that we're currently working on it. It's in the budget for the summer and for the school year for next year's budget. That's great, but where are we at? That's my question. A lot of things probably in the budget have never happened. 4 days ago, I got another, not 4 days, because that was weekend. It was last Thursday. I got another phone call. What's your availability for the summer? It's at the point now we need to discuss what we're gonna do. You're gonna run a driver's ed program in the summer. I'd love to stay here, I'd love to offer it. There's students who didn't get it last summer. Students had to go to Fort Plain to do it. It's really in your hands. But I have to make some decisions. I thought I was communicating my point when I met with you in September. I'd like to hear about a decision in February. Here we are, March. Still don't have a decision. So I'm proposing to you guys tonight, if you want to talk about it or have a discussion about it, I kind of really need to know. All right? It's not fair to me, it's not fair to other districts involved. In the past, we wouldn't have had any other districts involved, but now we do. So, it's up to you. Okay? Appreciate your time very much, and look forward to hearing a decision very soon. Hopefully within the next couple of days, because if one school district I didn't speak to, I said, well, there's a board meeting on March 13th, and I'm going to attend. So, I'm sure they're looking for an answer shortly after this date. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Motion approved.
Okay, good.
I need a motion.
I'd like to make, hear a motion to the executive session.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We just have to have a brief executive session, so we'll have to ask you to leave temporarily, sorry, but